Hello students, soft skills, session 4, career development and successful planning. So the alignment juggle as far as career development. So whether we have a strategy, it can be a business strategy or an employment strategy, and how it is like a cycle. So how do we frame the objectives? So whether it is a short term objective or a long term objective, and these objectives are associated with values and culture. So what sort of values and cultures that we are going to follow, and how it plays a major role in the objectives. So that is one point to be noted. And similarly, succession and talent management strategy also depends on the development plans and the actual staff profile that is required and the desired staff profile that is planned. So these are the two things part of the alignment juggle that has to be seen. So integrated approach as far as business strategy and how it results in the outcome. So talent management is surrounded or comprised of recruitment and selection, performance management, training and development, senior management development, succession planning, rewards management and career management. So all these things put together gets integrated with the talent and then ends with business results. So in an organization, if the business has to grow or the business has to yield profit or more income, so it has to get into various aspects, right from recruitment selection, performance management, training and development, senior management development, succession planning management, as well as career management. So talent management is one thing which decides the major result as far as the business is concerned. So as far as talent management, what is the aim? Foster a process of building leadership capability across the lines of business or support functions. The emphasis is on developing a broad spectrum of talent within the management ranks so that the availability of internal talent will not be a constraint to the organization's strategic direction. Identify the key leadership success factors. So the aim is very important as far as the talent management is concerned. So foster a process of building leadership capability across the line of business or support functions. So we have already seen the requirement of a leadership, how to become a leader and what sort of qualities that a leader has to possess, and that will be part of the talent management. And the emphasis is on developing a broad spectrum of talent within the management ranks so that the availability of internal talent will not be a constrained one. And also identify the key leadership success factors. Various factors are involved in that. The aim is also one such thing. And next comes the outcomes. Retention and development of high potential employees builds internal staff capabilities, that is bench strength for the emerging organizational demands, maps various success options or succession options, and facilitate development moves across the organization. And it establishes a professionally managed organization with the systems in place to ensure that it will have effective leaders going forward. So the talent management task or the talent management acquisition leads to retention and development of highly potential employees. So how do you recruit people? What sort of planning that is being followed? How it is being executed, and how it is recruiting people. So retention and development of high potential employees is important as far as talent management is concerned. So there is every possibility of competition prevailing in the organization so that talent can be absorbed by the competitors. So to retain such people, what sort of strategy to be applied? Whether the people have to be provided with proper benefits and rewards so that they can be retained, or being prepared for any such moves. So even in case of people switch over, so are the HR people or the management is ready for bringing in new people and training them till they get accustomed to the job. So whether the company is ready for that changeover. Next comes builds internal staff capabilities for the emerging organizational demands. So here again it is a matter of change. So whatever technological change or emerging trends that is taking place, whether the training or the quality one has to possess are being taken care, so that the talent management strategy is static or it is consistent as far as the organization is concerned. Next, maps various succession options. So this is another outcome of the talent management. So mapping various succession options is available. Next comes facilitates developmental moves across the organization. So talent management is one thing. It's possible to assign the task or allocate people according to the requirement, so to ensure that the job goes without any barriers or constraints. Next, establishes a professionally managed organization with a system in place to ensure that it will have effective leaders going forward. So when talent management system is being followed, it is ensuring that it will have effective leaders going forward. So molding people and ensuring that they are able to deliver. So that is one aspect of talent management. Contemporary issues, changing nature of work and organization. Demographics, net generation or diversity, globalization, technology, redefined concept of loyalty, challenges in differentiating high performers from poor performers, wanted rapid career progression. So these are all certain basic issues as far as the changing nature of work and organization is concerned. So let us try to see some details in a descriptive or a detailed manner. In today's world, the structure, content and the process of work have changed. Work is now more cognitively complex, more term-based and collaborative, more dependent on social skills, more dependent on technological competence, more time-pressured and more mobile and less dependent on geography. In today's world, you will also be working for an organization that is likely to be very different due to competitive pressures and technological breakthroughs. Organizations today, leaner and more agile, more focused on identifying value from the customer perspective, and more tuned to dynamic competitive requirements and strategy, less hierarchical in structure and decision authority, less likely to provide lifelong careers and job security, and continually reorganizing to maintain or gain competitive advantage. So the key drivers for changing nature of work is, although many factors ultimately contribute to the changing patterns of work, organizational theories point to two key drivers. One is increasing pressures on organizations to be more competitive, agile and customer focused to be a lean enterprise. Next is communication and information technology breakthroughs, especially mobile technologies and the internet that enable work to be separated from time and space. So changes in organizational focus. What does it mean to be lean? The lean enterprise model was introduced by Toyota in the 1970s. Since then, it has fueled changes in organization across the globe, particularly but not exclusively in manufacturing and product development. The key principles of lean enterprise or lean thinking: define value from the customer's perspective, identify internal activities and processes that add value for the customer, and identify linkages between them. That means the value chain, and eliminate non-value added activities or wastage across the organization, and reduce waste and inefficiencies in support. Example, overhead functions. The lean enterprise principles enabled many organizations to respond more rapidly to the marketplace by reducing cycle time, developing mass customization processes, and supporting continual change and innovation. Adopting lean principles and lean thinking has led to numerous changes in organizational structure to improve the efficiency of internal processes with a goal of eliminating waste and defining customer value. These changes have been supported and enabled by transformation in information and communications technology, especially the internet and mobile computing and communication devices. So, key organizational changes include reduced hierarchical structure. Hierarchies are cumbersome and cannot respond quickly to changing market demands, such as pressures for reduced cycle time and continuous innovation. Hierarchies are being replaced by cross-unit organizational groupings with fewer layers and more decentralized decision making. Blurred boundaries. As organizations become more laterally structured, boundaries begin to break down as different parts of the organization need to work more effectively together. Boundaries between departments as well as between job categories become looser, and there is a greater need for task and knowledge sharing. Teams as basic building blocks. The move toward a team-based organizational structure results from pressures to make rapid decisions, to reduce inefficiencies, and to continually improve work processes. New management perspective. Workers are no longer managed to comply with rules and orders, but rather to be committed to organizational goals and mission. The blurring of boundaries also affects organizational roles. As employees gain more decision authority and latitude, managers become more social supporters and coaches rather than commanders. Continuous change. Organizations are expected to continue the cycle of reflection and reorganization. However, changes may be both large and small and are likely to be interspersed with periods of stability. There are three types of change: metamorphosis, migration, and elaboration. So these are the three types of changes that impact a lot. So how work is changing for individuals and groups? Over the past 2 decades, a new pattern of work is emerging as the knowledge economy realizes the full potential of both new technology and new organizational models. The changes fall into the following domains: cognitive competence, social and interactive competence, the new psychological contract between employees and employers, and changes in process and place. Although these domains are discussed separately, they overlap. We briefly discuss the overlaps, where they exist, and point to the benefits and concerns the new work patterns present for workers and managers. The cognitive competence, where workers are expected to be more functionally and cognitively fluid and able to work across many kinds of tasks and situations. The broader span of work brought about by changes in organizational structure also creates new demands, including increased complexity of work. That means workers need to know more, not only to do their jobs and tasks, but also to work effectively with others on team. Many knowledge-based tasks require sound analytical and judgment skills to carry out work that is more novel, extemporaneous, and context-based, with a few rules and structured ways of working. Although demand for high cognitive skills are especially prominent in professional, technical, and managerial jobs, Even administrative tasks requires more independent decision making and operational decision making. Next comes continuous competency development. Not only do workers need to keep their technology skills up to date, they need to be continuous learners in their knowledge fields and also be more conversant with business strategy. Time to read and attend training classes is no longer a perquisite of only a few. It is essential for all the workers. Different ways of thinking. So it is argued that cross-functional and cross-boundary teams requires kaleidoscope thinking. That means the ability to see alternative angles and perspectives and to create new patterns of thinking that propel innovation. Workers also need to be able to synthesize disparate ideas in order to make the cognitive leaps that underlie innovation. The cost of complexity as far as cognitive factor is concerned, vastly increased access to information has made work both easier and more difficult. The ease comes from ability to rapidly locate and download information from diverse websites. The difficulty comes with the need to ensure or make sense of new information in a timely fashion. Information overload coupled with the time pressures and increased work complexity lead to what psychologists call as cognitive overload syndrome. Symptoms of cognitive overload syndrome include stress, inability to concentrate, multitasking, task switching, and a tendency to focus on what is easy to do quickly rather than what is important. Social and interactive competence. In a 2001 report on the changing nature of work, the National Research Council called attention to the importance of relational and interactive aspects of work. As collaboration and collective activity become more prevalent, workers need well-developed social skills and what the report calls it as emotional labor. Good social skills are necessary for teamwork and collaboration. Conflict resolution and negotiation skills are essential to collaborative work. Conflicts often occur about group goals, work methods, assignments, workloads, and recognition. Team members with good conflict and negotiation skills are better equipped to deal openly with problems, to listen and understand different perspectives, and to resolve issues in a mutually beneficial way. Relationship development and networking. Sharing important information, fulfilling promises, willingness to be influenced, and listening are building blocks of reciprocity and the development of a trust. When workers trust one another, they are more committed to attaining mutual goals, more likely to help one another through difficulties, and more willing to share and develop new ideas. Learning and growth. Many organizations strive to be learning centers to create conditions in which employees learn not only through formal training but through relationship with co-workers. Learning relationship build on joint problem solving, insight sharing, learning from mistakes, and working closely together to aid transmission of tacit knowledge. Learning also develops from mentoring relationship between newcomers and those with experience and organizational know-how.